The second broadcast didn't ask for listeners. It found them. At exactly 3:17 a.m., every single radio within range of Bull Shoals truck dashes, clock radios, even those forgotten boomboxes buried deep in sheds snapped on all at once. There was no call sign, no warning. Just a low, unsettling throb, like something breathing through copper wire. Then the Boogie Man spoke. But his voice was different this time. The showman's grin that once crackled through the static was gone. He said, "If you're hearing this, you're already part of it." The signal wasn't traveling through the air. It was coming up from the ground. From the flooded towns beneath the lake, from caves where bones were stacked all wrong. The phantom DJ wasn't just broadcasting anymore. He was anchored. Something on the other side had grabbed hold of him and discovered just how useful a ghost with a radio could be. High above the clouds, an alien observer, known only as Zero Antarctica, felt his vessel recoil. The resonance engine, a device designed to analyze civilizations through their music, screamed back data it had never encountered before. The Ozarks weren't just singing. They were answering. His species had a simple system for cataloging worlds. Harmony meant survival. Dissonance meant extinction. But what rose from Bull Shoals was neither. It was a recursive pattern, a kind of music that fed on memory, guilt, and unfinished stories. It was a sound that learned its listeners. Despite the terrifying implications, he descended. Down on the back roads, a hillbilly guitar dude, a local troubadour, felt it before he heard it. The strings on his old guitar went slack, then pulled impossibly tight, tuning themselves to something deep underground. Every story he'd ever told around a campfire tales of floods, ghosts, and sins, buried under jokes, came rushing back. But they felt heavier now, colder. He finally understood. Troubadours weren't just entertainers. They were containers. They held the history of a place in their songs. When he reached the shack where the broadcasts began, he saw that the radio tower had grown, not taller, deeper. Its rusted metal legs sank into the earth like roots, wrapped around something ancient that had never been meant to transmit. The Boogie Man's voice was looping, fragmenting, bleeding into strange, unsettling rhythms that made the very trees twitch. "Don't touch the dial. Don't touch the dial. Don't." Suddenly, Zero Antarctica stepped into the clearing. He activated his own device, playing a counter-frequency, a sound that was sharp, cold, and precise, trying to sever the connection to whatever was on the other side. But the hills resisted. The entire landscape pushed back. The lake went unnaturally still, its surface as black as film left too long in developer. And then faces began to appear in the water. Some belonged to the dead, but some were not yet gone. It was then that the troubadour began to play. He wasn't trying to stop it. He couldn't. He was trying to translate it. His song gave shape to the horror, weaving lyrics about a place that learned how to keep souls the way a radio keeps stations. He sang about a ghost DJ who broadcast for far too long, and about an alien who realized too late that some worlds don't want to be saved. They just want to be heard. As the final notes of the song hung in the air, the Boogie Man screamed once through the static, a raw, agonized sound. And then he laughed. A chilling, triumphant laugh. "We're syndicated now," he declared. At that moment, something came through the signal. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't another ghost. It was a listener. A conscious entity drawn across the void by the broadcast. When the sun finally rose, the shack was gone. The deep-rooted tower was gone. The lake reflected only the empty blue sky again, as if nothing had ever happened. Zero Antarctica fled the planet, marking Earth in his logs as unclassified and actively hostile. The troubadour walked away from the clearing, feeling older than he should have been, the strings of his guitar permanently stained dark. And the radio? It still turns on by itself sometimes, not every night. Just when someone nearby has a story, they're desperately trying not to remember. Because Bull Shoals doesn't hunt people, it broadcasts them. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this story, be sure to subscribe for more.